Welcome to Family on Trial. Please consider the following.
So money is one of the biggest stressors in our lives as individuals.
Did you know that money issues are the second leading cause of divorce behind infidelity after the first few years of marriage? In addition to that, 2/3 of all marriages begin with both spouses in debt. Without honest communication and a game plan, it's like we start our marital journey with one hand tied behind our back. Speaking of journeys, let us continue on ours.
Our top story tonight, dozens of children rescued during a nationwide sex trafficking sting.
The FBI teamed up with at least 10 local police departments to save a dozen minors in Metro Detroit.
According to the FBI, 18 children were brought to safety here in Colorado, more than any other state in the country. We've also learned 11 sex traffickers were taken into custody here.
And this is footage of one of the raids in Ohio, where authorities took down 177 people involved in human trafficking.
Pedophilia has grown rampant in our society. The sexual trafficking of our children is not only criminal but demonic, and it's much closer to home than you think. The story of Jeffrey Epstein began with local high schools in Palm Beach County, and it just got worse from there.
I really thought gender was set in stone when I was younger because I didn't know anyone who was different at all.
I definitely did not realize that you could change your gender or your name or who you are.
Well, coming up next on the Heat Index this morning, a stirring video that is being shared by millions. A couple's decision to allow their young child, born female, to become male.
This is Ari, Gwendolyn, and Brinnifer. They are in a polyamorous relationship, and they all parent Hazel and Sparrow.
We have a 2-year-old antigender baby and a 10-year-old who is non-binary.
A California kindergarten teacher is facing outrage after discussing gender identity with her students.
The kindergartners came home very confused about whether or not you can pick your gender, whether or not they really were a boy or a girl.
The transgender agenda, and let's make no mistake about it, it is an agenda, has gone from one extreme to another. Not merely in terms of what being transgender means, but in the sense of wanting to be tolerated and be allowed to live as they desire, to becoming some of the most intolerant and exclusive groups of people you'd ever want to encounter. We'll explore the multiple aspects of transgenderism and its impact on the family, but for now, we'll soldier on from here.
A 17-year-old with a golden resume.
Please consider me for the National Honor Society.
Walked to a nearby highway overpass and jumped.
Police tell us that the nephew of an East Hillside couple killed the couple, their 2 daughters, before turning the gun on himself.
4 people are dead in what Milwaukee police are calling a triple murder-suicide.
Violence in the family, whether it be self-inflicted or forced upon others, used to be unusual, something seldom heard of, but that is no longer the case. Unfortunately, it's become as commonplace as an annual checkup with no upside value. Just pain, misery, and despair. The question is why? Why has this become so prevalent?
Ever thought your spouse was getting away with murder? Well, one Michigan woman actually tried to do so by hiring a hitman to get rid of her husband. And she isn't the first to take drastic measures that might make divorce look positively quaint.
Terrifying moments for a woman who woke up to a strange man in bed with her. The woman screamed. Her brother rushed in to help and tried to fight the offender off.
He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up, trying to rape them. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they're raping everybody out here.
What do you think of these stories? How did we get here? If the family is a ship, it sets sail on the open seas we call life. With a firm hand on the helm and an eye on the horizon, we imagine peace, prosperity, and love on the voyage ahead. But it's a rare voyage that never encounters a storm, and this day will be no different.
I hate you. You were just some boy who made me laugh at a party once.
I want a divorce.
I have cancer.
Dreadful words to hear indeed. You're at sea, trying to navigate a storm, and suddenly, the rudder snaps. And you and your family are set adrift, strangers in the same house, wondering what just happened. The obvious and terrible problem is you're adrift in a storm, tossed and battered by the waves, Now here comes divorce, disrespectful children, a lack of prosperity, anger, tears. But all is not lost. And just as day follows night, the wind will die down and the waves will flatten to reveal a glassy calmness. But what about that rudder? It's time to get that fixed before the next storm rolls through. My name is Daryl Jones, and I'm your grateful host here at Family on Trial. I'm a happy man to be married to my wife, Savannah. I'm a father, son, brother, uncle, friend. I spent over 20 years in law enforcement and proudly served my country in the U.S. Army. I'm also a man who is concerned about family and how culture, or should I say culture, can misguide or even break the family shortly after setting sail. And friends, just so you know, I have lived the rudder-stricken life, so I am not immune. I've been victimized by errant cultural groupthink, but I am not a victim. I stand vigilant and ready for what's to come. We'll get more into my story as we go along, but first things first. What bothers you about family dynamics today? Is there peace in your home? What are your thoughts on authority? Does society and culture play a role in family well-being, or am I just out of line? There are many topics that we can and will discuss. A few of those include the role of husbands and wives, the role of children, disciplined parenting, and finances, just to name a few. So come along, join us on this journey of discussion and rediscovery. Family on Trial. It's more than just a name, it's the truth.